Hello and welcome back to another episode of In Focus. This week we're in focus with the Butter Pie podcast, and we're joined with Ollie tonight. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Tommy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah. Of course, we're going to be talking about the game tonight and sort of getting a bit of to know about what we can expect from Preston on the weekend. But first, I'd just like to ask you, Ollie. Obviously, being a Preston fan yourself, what got you into supporting the team?
I reckon, you could ask this to any fan, Tommy, any P&A fan, and it's got to be family orientated.
Mm.
Obviously, I got it forced upon me, so it was one of those where it was like, you know what, I'm suffering, so you're suffering as well. So it's carried through the family, and to be fair, there's now this little dilemma. I know you meant to support your local as well, and obviously Preston's my local team, so it's the local team, and certain members of my family support them. So it kind of got forced upon me rather than any choice. To be fair to you, Tommy.
Mm. There's that sort of pride with supporting a local team as well. It's community as well. Yeah, that's great to hear. That is. Um,
Ice cream man, sorry mate.
oh, don't worry. I might go past in one of these
Oh, it's
episodes
all
as
right.
well. There's always background noise in these
There we
things.
go.
Um, so it's great to hear about how you got into Preston.
Yeah.
These next two questions could technically be rolled into one, but I'll ask them both at the same time. Uh, Earliest Preston memory. What was your earliest
Oh,
Preston?
my earliest Preston memory would probably be losing in the 2005 playoff final against West Ham at the Millennium Stadium. Yeah, it's a rough first memory to be fair, and I think another memory that springs up because I started going to games when I was like 5, 6, and I know the memory of the playoff final wasn't so vivid, but the one that I do remember most was playing at home against Burnley. It could have been 2006 or whatever, and I was there with my uncle, and it was a packed out Deepdale, and I think it was that moment that made me think, you know what, it's packed out, the atmosphere is amazing. I get to watch football. I want to do this all the time, and from then on, I've just stuck by it. But if I didn't take out my first memory of the playoff loss
Yeah.
and thought, you know what, I'll switch to someone who wins,
Mm.
I might not be here right now. But yeah, I've stuck through them through thick and thin, and here we are to this day, Tommy. But yeah,
That's great to hear. That is that one that you is that the first game you went to, or have there been once before?
oh, what 2005? Oh, we're going. I might have been taking on a couple more to be fair by my uncle, but no, the first one I remember was 2005 playoff final. I think he took me to one of the playoff semi-finals, but I can't
Mm.
remember it as much as anything. But yeah, the trip down to Cardiff, I remember vividly, and
Yeah.
obviously the game wearing a little P&A shirt that doesn't fit anything. But yeah, first game playoff final loss, probably not the greatest memories, but
Mm.
here we are.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose so. Was it how much did you lose by in that game, or was it a bad?
I think we lost. I think we lost. It was either 1-0 or 2-1. It was
Oh,
against
right.
West Ham. West
Yeah.
Ham. Was it West Ham? I swear it was either West Ham or Bolton. I'm losing my mind here,
You're
honestly.
trying to condense the memory from the bad
Yeah,
memory. Yeah.
yeah, you've got me thinking back to Burnley and Man City at home. With Darius Vassell up top for Man
Wow.
City.
That's a name, isn't it?
Oh.
Wow. So yeah, it's great to hear about your early memories of Preston and being a Preston North End fan. But obviously, coming to the present day, you're currently a tenth in the league. As of recording, this might change in a couple of days or whatever. Um, but you've started off with 2 wins, 5 draws, and 0 losses. But I think the impressive fact is that you haven't conceded yet. So how's the start of the season been for you?
it's it's been a confusing one. I can't lie because I don't think any North End fan would have expected to be sat here. 7 games in, 7 clean sheets. It had been massively well. Our back line you look at it and you look at the start of the season with Jordan Story, who did go out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday last season. And, he didn't really get a look in under Ryan Lowe. He's now come in and, forced his way through. Liam Lindsay didn't really get much of a say last season either. It was Patrick Bauer. And them two have both come into a back three, which you look at it on paper at the start of the season and think, you know what, we really need to improve this. And losing Daniel Iverson at the end of last season, he went back on loan, back off his loan to Leicester. I thought he was best keeper in the league last season. So that was big shoes to fill. And Freddie Woodman's come in and he's been fantastic. His distribution's brilliant. And I'd probably rate him above Iverson now. But to be fair, with Freddie Woodman, he's not really had much to do. The defenders are putting the bodies on the line. And, although it's not working at the top of the pitch, it's working brilliantly at, the back end of the pitch. And I think the game against Coventry, which has just gone on Wednesday, it was a massive game. And if we didn't win, and we ended up with a loss, you look at it and think, well, we scored 1 in 7, but now 2 in 7, and he looks at the start and you're thinking, you know what, you can proper get up this table, because it's no harm to say that against the teams that have come. Rotherham, we absolutely tore Rotherham apart and couldn't find the ball into the back of the net. So it's one of those, we're frustrated at the top of the pitch. We're playing fantastic football, and it was more about getting confidence into the higher end of the pitch as well. And what Ryan Lowe has to decide on, and he did it well yesterday, was his way of playing didn't really suit Emil Reese, and he's our main focal point up top. We're swinging crosses into the box with Robbie Brady because he's got a fantastic left foot. And Emil Reese is not going to stick his head on and fly in, and we don't really have any strikers to do that. Maybe Ched Evans, but he doesn't really play that much. So Ryan Lowe kind of had to change his system to fit Emil Reese, and it worked yesterday. I know Emil Reese came on and he scored, and that's going to give so much confidence to Emil Reese, who was linked massively to go to Middlesbrough, and we all thought he was gone at one point. So going forward, he's got to stick to giving confidence to our strikers, because the defence is on fire. The midfield looks stable. Once we give confidence to our main focal point up to Emil Reese, I think we'll be firing. So, unfortunately for you, Tommy, Emil Reese scored last game, and I feel like he's going to be bringing that confidence through Saturday. Fingers crossed for me. Obviously, unfortunately for any Blues fans, but I'm starting to be a lot more optimistic about Holloway, that Preston are going about things.
Yeah, I think that we're kind of in a similar situation with strikers, or perhaps an attacking threat, perhaps going forward. But yeah, like you say, the defense is on fire. But is Freddie Woodman? Is he a Spurs loanee or somebody? Because I feel like I've heard that name before.
No, Freddie Woodman. He was signed permanently from Newcastle. So he started last season in the first game of the season when Ronaldo's first game back at United. He started in net for Newcastle, and he was England under-20s keeper, Freddie Woodman. So he's obviously worked with our assistant manager, Mike Marsh, who was in the England setup. So I think that helps. And we got him on a very cheap deal for what Freddie Woodman is as a keeper. So I'm massively, massively happy with that signing. So yeah, he's fantastic, Woodman. So he's probably, I'd put it in there for one of our best signings in the past 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay, yeah. So he's sort of like giving that good stable foundation at the back. Is that sort of helped to sort of perhaps push on towards these next few games? Is that what's sort of the plan for Preston?
Yeah, and what I would say is our past few keepers' distribution hasn't really been there.
Right.
Whereas Freddie Woodman, kind of gives it short. So the second he gets it in his hands, he's always looking for the next pass. And that's either through Ben Whiteman, who's our pivotal point in the middle. He plays the quarterback role and spreads the ball all over the park or to one of our wide centre backs. So the thing is with Woodman, he gets the ball out quickly to start a counter attack, and I feel like that's what the system's needed for a long time. And you know, he's got it nailed down to a T, Woodman. And what I would say is his confidence is next level. I saw the post the other day. He was like, "Oh, fantastic 3 points." Never mentioned the 7 clean sheets whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like it's an incredible achievement. But yeah, I'm so happy with that signing. Like having a poor keeper has to be one of the worst feelings in the world
Oh,
as a
absolutely.
fan. Because you like you watch your game, oh, we're fantastic, and then Howard goes in. I know Declan Rudd
yeah, we got to remember that
and the
one.
Birmingham match. Yeah, so
yeah, that was an incredible moment. That was. I remember watching that.
Who is it?
It was Clifton Bell, yeah, because it was literally like a nothing ball over the top. Just it was like a little pass almost, and it went over the top, and Rudd goes to pick it up. It was poor technique, you know. You should have your knee behind the ball at least. It rolls in between his legs into the back.
Was that to make it 1-0 as well?
Yeah, the game changed after that. I remember it really well. It was quite close, and then as soon as that goal went in, we just yeah, exactly. It was just like Adams and Magoma was just away then for the rest of the game. It was just completely changed the game. But obviously Freddie Woodman's a good stand-up player. But have we got any other sort of big danger players that we could be worried about, or that you've been really impressed with at the start of the season?
So I did mention Ben Whiteman there, and he's the pivotal point for Preston North End. So if you know your manager's listening to this, and if he wants to place a player to man mark Ben Whiteman out the game, you'd have a much better chance at winning the game. Because seriously, everything goes through Ben Whiteman. You know, he sprays passes here, left, and centre. I've not seen Ben Whiteman have a poor game for Preston North End yet. He's been consistently brilliant, at least a 7 or 8 out of 10.
Has he been a new signing, or has he been there for a while?
I think he's been here for a year and a half.
And you've still not seen a bad game from him?
I've still not seen a bad game from him yet.
Wow.
He's been fantastic. He's a replacement for Paul Gallagher. Obviously, Blues fans probably might not understand that, but yeah, he's just there, like being the massive focal point in the middle of the pitch, spreading balls around. He sits behind like 2 attacking midfielders and just like roams around in that space and just sets play off. So if you mark Ben Whiteman out of the game, you have a good chance of beating Preston North End. That's as easy as it is, but as of recent, we've been having, you know, one of the 8s to be changed into a defensive midfielder as well to kind of help Whiteman, you know, uncover for him. Because at the start of the season with these 0-0s, they just stuck 2 people on Whiteman and we're just there like, well, where do we go from now? So, yeah, Ben Whiteman's the danger player, even though he seems subtle and he doesn't seem like he does much to affect the attacking play, but you know, if you sit something on Ben Whiteman, everything just crumbles.
So is it a possession sort of, or is it possession based that you look to play, or is it more counter attacking?
Well, Ryan Lowe's come in and he's said he wants like possession based football, and you know that's what we've tried to do as well, and we've got it kind of, but like it's a mix between counter attacking and possession based. Like it's hard to understand. Like we know we're trying to play this way and trying to keep the ball, but the second we nip the ball back after counter pressing, we're just onto it. So it's really hard to decide what Ryan Lowe's system is, whether he wants us to be possession based. I know he says he wants us to be possession based, but you know, anything can happen as a P&E fan. You know, we got wing backs who turn into, you know, right mid, left mid, and attack with 7, and you know we defend with a full 5. So I honestly couldn't guess what we're even playing at parts, but fingers crossed it starts working soon because we need some more goals. 2 goals in 7 games doesn't look the best, but fingers crossed more comes this weekend.
Well, you might be in for a bit of luck this weekend, but we've got a couple more questions before we wrap up this. Well, obviously, I don't know whether you feel confident going into this game, but what would your prediction be for this for between us two on the weekend on Saturday?
Well, I saw that Birmingham are on a bit of a downer after conceding the last
Mm.
minute winner to.
Well, to
When
clarify,
it
we're always on a bit of a downer because we're always just been terrible.
was it ex loanee as well? Didn't he go on
Yeah,
loan to
yeah.
you? Oh, a bit
Hernandez,
harsh.
yeah. He was quality for us as well. And to be fair, he's still just as good for Norwich. So um yeah, it was a bit of pill to swallow. That was that was a hard
Yeah,
one, really.
I think we're on a bit of a high at the moment, and I think momentum's a massive thing in football.
Hmm.
And the defense, I look at the defense and I can't see us conceded. I know that's weird to say, but I've got the confidence in going into games thinking, you know what, we're not going to concede. Obviously, we're going to concede. It's a 46 game season, but I just can't see from where the next goal is going to come from for the opposition.
Yeah.
So if I had to put a prediction on it, I'm going to say 2-0
Okay.
North End.
Hmm.
Um, I just can't see us conceding, and that may be rich of me to say, but I just can't see us conceding. I mentioned Cardiff. I thought they would score against us, but they had like 22 shots and didn't score. And I'm just
Mm.
thinking, when is it going to hit the back of our own net? But if Birmingham do score, I want to see how Preston North End react because we've not conceded all season. We haven't gone behind. Will we have the momentum to bring us back forward? Say you do go.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, say you do go and score early. I'm unsure how Preston North End will react. We reacted last season under Lowe and brought back, but we're thinking we've not conceded yet at all. So I don't know how we're going to react, but I'm going to say we're going to win 2-0. I
Hmm.
back Reece to score again. He scores goals in little blurts of games. What 2-3 games, and then goes a bit quiet for a couple of the others.
Yeah. Is he a
So
bit of a confidence player?
massive,
Yeah.
massive, massive confidence player, and scoring that goal against Coventry on Wednesday's probably not put you in good stead, Tommy. So if he
3-0
starts,
Tonkin coming on.
no, I'll take a 1-0, 2-0.
Hmm.
I'll take 3 points, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm anticipating North End to win. But obviously, anything can happen in the game of football, and Birmingham are a great side, and especially apparently bringing in Chong.
Rumored,
I'm,
yeah. Well, it looks like it's
I'm,
almost done.
well, will he be eligible for the game on Saturday though?
I don't know. Well, there's a couple of
I
players
don't I
who.
don't I don't think he would play anyway if he was going to come in. And I
Mm,
think that's massive because Tahith Chong was fantastic for you last season in that
yeah,
tiny loan move. But
yeah.
yeah,
I
do,
think
do,
with
do we?
I think with us, what we've got to try and do is that we've got to try and get some actual football being played because we're going through spells where we look like we've got a sort of sit back and a counter attack sort of team, and then in other weeks we don't even look like we can pass the ball a couple of yards. So it's like trying to work out what we're in sort of at the moment. Like you were saying that you don't know whether you're a possession based or a counter attacking team. Um, so I suppose that's what we need to do. And with players like Chong, he works well in a system that he knows about. So I think if we brought him in and tried to sort of shoehorn him into a position that he didn't know very well, or tried to put him into a team that he doesn't quite know how to play in, I think he can get marked out of the game. Kind of like how Whiteman is Whiteman, isn't it?
Whiteman, yeah.
Whiteman, yeah. I just had White House in my head then for a second. That's wrong. So he's kind of like player as well, I think. But I think 2-0 is a fair result. I do think it is. Well, I've got one last question for you, and you might have a little bit of thinking time with this. But one word to summarize the game tomorrow. What do you think that could on Saturday? Sorry, it's Thursday today. What do you think that could be?
One word,
Yeah,
cagey.
cagey. Yeah,
Cagey.
I can see that happening actually. Going sort of, will it be kind of back to back, end to end? Sorry, and a couple of missed chances here and there. Well, let's face it, we're going to miss loads of chances.
Well, yeah, I think everyone will be on the edge of the seat, anticipating something's going to happen. At Deepdale last time, we came out firing, and
Mm.
Daniel Johnson missed a sitter from, I think it was about 5 yards out. So I think we'll score early, and then it'll be a really, really cagey affair.
Yeah.
And I think, it'll go neck and neck to like the 89th minute, and then we'll nick one late on. Just as Deeney's going to try and smash one into the town end. But yeah,
well,
fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, Deeney's been well, most of our players, not just Deeney on his own, but have just not been performing. Very underperforming team at the moment. So I could see us getting hammered, but then I could see us perhaps nicking a very scrappy 1-0 or something like that. It's one of those things being a Blues fan, unfortunately. You'd know it's just part of being a fan.
Yeah, it's also one of those games where anything could happen. Like, say we're probably, both aiming for mid-table as it stands. Like, Peony are always edging for that 11th place. It's our home. And I had Birmingham in my predictions to be there or thereabouts, around 14th, 13th. So it's a championship.
Just to be honest, I'd take that right now in a heartbeat. I'd absolutely love to finish 14th this season. How unoptimistic is that?
No, but it's championship. Anything can happen. Yeah. It's the craziest league in the world, Tommy. So, P&E could win 2-0. Birmingham could come, spirits high. You've just signed Chong and do us in 4-0. But so,
yeah,
I'm optimistic, but I'm still on edge, and that's why I've gone with KG.
KG, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ollie, for coming on. It's been very good to have you share your thoughts with us. If you'd like to check out the Butter Pie podcast, all the links will be in the description of this video, so you can go check them out. Go give them a follow and go find out what they're all about. Have a listen to a couple of their episodes. I'm sure that you've been releasing a few episodes recently, haven't you?
Oh, especially with deadline day coming up and we've not signed anyone, we'll be having a nice episode sometime next week about how the club's going to move forward. But once every week, and
wicked, yeah. Well, once again, thank you very much, Ollie, for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Be sure to check out us as well in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Keep right on.